Welcome back to my Apex Legends mini-series. I'm going to be doing a collection of short to the point videos full of information, tips and tricks collected from hours of gameplay from myself, friends and other YouTubers. Be sure to stay locked to my channel and even better hit the little bell so you don't miss out on other videos from this mini-series. Like, comment and sub, all the works. Hope you enjoy. How to get kills and stay alive. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to talk about getting kills and staying alive. Game after game, I see teammates and enemies just running into gunfights, guns blazing, as soon as they hear gunfire, just hoping to get a kill, and then end up getting downed. Also, another big gripe of mine is teammates that shoot at passing enemies without a clear shot and no chance of downing them, and then end up giving our position away. That's why I wanted to make this video, just a few pointers for those who want to listen, learn and improve. I'm first going to talk about setup, then positioning, composure, and then finish with teamwork. Setup. Having your perfect setup is key to feeling confident before a gunfight and is usually the difference between winning and losing. The other key ingredient is knowing your setup inside out, meaning your weapon's clip size, spray pattern, your legend's ultimate abilities, length of abilities, inventory content, attachments, throwables, and the list goes on. I'm not going to talk about weapon stats and which ones to use in this video, stay locked for that one, but being comfortable with a few different weapons is a good start as you don't always get to use your favourites in game. I always look out for a long to medium range weapon like an AR or an LMG, and a short to medium range weapon like a shotgun or an SMG. My favourite loadout is a shotgun and an LMG, but it's all personal preference really, finding what works for you. I'm also constantly on the lookout for attachments, especially the higher level ones, and hop-ups, which give your weapons better stats like increased headshots or turning a 3-round burst into a fully auto weapon. I like to keep as much ammo on me as possible depending on the size of my backpack, but there is a limit. For example, there's no point holding 200 shotgun bullets as you won't use them all, and the chances are if you are holding 200 shotgun bullets, one of your teammates is definitely going to be low on that ammo type. Having enough meds and armor on you to refill your bar at least 3 or 4 times is good rule of thumb, but bear in mind there's no point holding 5 med packs and 12 syringes. 1 med pack refills your health completely, whereas a syringe only does a portion, and the same goes for armor. Also, I like to keep my Phoenix kits until the end when you need to refill both bars as quick as possible. Also, one thing to remember, a quick way to refill your armor is to pick up a new one. If you down an enemy and destroy his armor, it will be back to full health when you pick it up. It's a nice little touch, and other Battle Royale games could definitely learn from this. I like to have a selection of throwables on me, and arc stars are without a doubt my favourites for flanking and surprising enemies, but if there isn't enough space, then these are first to go. Also, knockdown shields are useful and can save you from being downed after being knocked, but it isn't always essential. Like an ultimate accelerator that refills your ultimate power by 20%. Good, but not essential. Gold weapons, attachments, and shields are items you should always keep an eye out for, as they have extra abilities, like having a gold knockdown shield means you can revive yourself. Finally, the last thing on setup is making sure you are prepared for a gunfight. For example, all weapons cocked and reloaded, the right meds and throwables selected, and your crosshairs are up and ready at all times. Positioning. As I mentioned in the intro, the next 3 points are the reasons I am making this video. And the right position of your character when traversing the map and in a gunfight can keep you alive longer, which will give you the most XP. Map knowledge helps with positioning, but that only comes after putting in those gaming hours, but knowing your surroundings is something you can get straight away. Looking for elevated ledges, potential flanking routes, where the zone is, and one of the most important, available cover. These are things that are constantly going through my mind when traversing the map, also making sure my back is covered at all times. If I'm going to get into a gunfight, I want my back to a wall, which will make it hard for the enemy to flank, and somewhere I can retreat to so I can use my meds. Ask yourself, what type of player are you? What do you do when you hear gunfire? Do you run straight towards it, or take into account your surroundings, where your teammates are, and any potential flanking routes or elevated cover so you can get the drop on the enemy? I'll be honest, I used to be the first type of player, but after years of practice, I taught myself to become the latter. Don't forget you can run, jump, slide and climb faster when your guns are holstered. I'm not saying run in the opposite direction of the fight or your teammates. You need to know where your teammates are at all times and use their position to your advantage. To squeeze the enemy, and while they're busy with your teammates, finish them off from a distance or an elevated position. Also, if your teammate is pushing, it's always good to have another teammate holding back just slightly so he can pick off hurt enemies or damage shields so your teammate who's pushing can finish them off. There are a lot of movement mechanics you can utilise and combine in Apex to make flanking, positioning, voiding and traversing a lot easier. I'm not going to get into this as I've already made a video on this. Be sure to go and check it out if you haven't done so already. Remember, always stay close to some sort of cover in case you get run up on, somewhere you can reapply armor and meds. It's always better to leave a gunfight to med up other than chance getting downed, putting pressure on your teammates. Don't forget you can move and slide while medding up. Another thing you do often and don't really think about is reloading and when to do it. It's hard to know what type of situation you'll be in when you need to reload, but doing it at the right time or even having to retreat if you can is a sensible move. Redeploy balloons are a useful tool to keep an eye out, reposition and flank. You can travel further than you think from a red balloon. Be sure to check out my video to learn how. Composure. It's easy to get flustered in a gunfight, lose composure, and just panic when it kicks off. But keeping cool and picking your shots can win you those gunfights. Just pause for half a second to make sure your crosshairs are on target instead of just button spamming. As I said in the intro, it's something you see often, teammates rushing towards gunfire, storming a building all through the same door, or just taking pot shots at passing enemies, which it's obvious you're not going to get the kill and end up just giving our position away. Although it's nice getting kills, you don't really get that much of a reward for them. You actually get more XP for staying alive longer, so playing smart and thinking about your next move instead of just steaming in will keep you alive longer. Don't forget to flank, reposition. As soon as you hear that gunfire, don't just steam straight in. Teamwork. I'm not going to go too in depth about teamwork as I've already made a video covering the main bits, but staying alive, watching each other's backs and listening to requests, pinging items and enemies are all the basics in Apex. As I said, I've already made a video on teamwork, be sure to check it out if you haven't done so already. And finally, practice. You're not going to be a master overnight. Games like this take time to learn, especially the flow of the map and where the hotspots tend to be. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you guys understood what I was trying to get across and found it useful. Like if you like, comment and sub. I've been Rough Diamond. Catch you all again soon. Laters.